Hey guys out there, guess what? It is Title Tuesday once again. So we are going to talk about, last week we talked about the title company kind of having two parts. They have an escrow part and a title insurance part. Because I like anything better than insurance, we're going to talk about escrow first today. So I'm here again with Diane Pyndus, Senior Escrow Officer at Texas Title. So tell me again, you said one part of your job is escrow. What is escrow?
Escrow, the term escrow means someone else is holding funds on your behalf. So you can have your escrow account set up with your lender for them to pay taxes and insurance. Same thing with me. I'm holding money from multiple different parties to disperse in certain ways.
Okay, so when I, as a real estate agent, say you're a neutral third party charged with dispersing the funds
Exactly.
in a real estate transaction, that's what you do.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
very cool. So one of the fees you charge, I know, like, okay, if you're new closing, you're going to have a closing disclosure. If you've closed a house, but it's been a few years, you'll have what they call a HUD-1. They're the same thing. The federal government just said we had to change the name of it. There's always what they call an escrow fee. And all of my clients always wonder, well, what's that? That's $500 or whatever on their side of closing. So it's really not $500, it's less. But what does an escrow fee do?
It is the administrative processing fee for us to maintain that escrow account. Not only maintaining it, but also gathering the instruction letters from everyone associated with the transaction. The contract is the biggest instruction letter, then the lender's instructions. Facilitating all of that coming into a smooth and successful transaction is why you're charged an escrow fee.
Okay, so that's just the fee that the title company charges, because you guys don't really charge any other fees that are just title company fees that aren't state regulated or title insurance related and all that.
Because we are the escrow agent, everyone in the transaction has their fee collected by us. So a lot of people think that because the title company is the one collecting the fees, that we're getting the fees, and that's not an accurate statement. We pay the realtor's fees, we pay the home warranty, we pay the seller proceeds, we pay for all of the pass-through fees associated with the transaction, such as the county clerk getting paid to record the deed and then the mortgage to secure the lender's lien.
So that small little fee that's charged on a buyer side and a seller side really is just to keep you guys in business so you can do all of that.
Keep the lights on so your transaction gets closed, yeah.
Because per the contract, we have to have a neutral third party kind of to handle all that stuff. That makes sense to me. So on escrows now, I saw my mother's closing statement from about, I was going to say 30 years ago. Actually, about 40 years ago now. They had like 3 people they had to write a check to, or a wire, or whatever they did back then. Maybe they brought paper sacks full of cash. I don't know.
No cash. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no cash. Not anymore. So how many people do you have to pay out and disperse funds to on a typical loan transaction?
Typical transaction, I would say that there's probably 10 people, 10 parties that we're paying through the transaction. It can go up from there. There are some transactions in which I have to pay off 10 credit cards for someone, in which case I'm paying Discover and Capital One and Chase and everyone else. It just depends upon each particular transaction. And then also the real estate company, how many different disbursements they want made for the commission, because Dale, you don't get to keep it all.
Dang,
Yeah.
I know. It always irritates me too when that happens. But that's very true. We have lots of hands in the pie, as I like to tell people. So you've done this a long time. Has the closing process gotten more difficult, less difficult? Or is it still kind of about the same? I know the job's kind of the same, but I know there's a lot more regulations and stuff out there too. So
There are a lot more regulations. The transaction is the same as the transaction was.
Okay.
However, the new closing disclosures, which were for clarity for the consumer, in my opinion, have made it a lot more convoluted than it used to be. But that's one of those things that we have a government for, to keep us all online.
Oh, do we have a government? Let me tell you something. If you're in the real estate business, you're in the politics business, whether you like it or not. And no, I'm not commenting on federal politics. It's mostly controlled by the state at this level. So we have to keep watch on all that stuff. And that's one of the reasons we realtors are as politically involved as we are. With that, I think, that's probably enough on escrow today.
Cool.
If you have any questions, post them at the bottom. We'll try to get you an answer as quickly as we possibly can. Like this channel on YouTube. And thank you, Diana Pyndus at Texas Title. And we will be back with you next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.